Hello, friends, it's Phil, and today there is one simple announcement to share with you. It is, let me just check, Monday, the 13th of March, 2023, and I've just spotted Harrogate Council. That's where I live, by the way, in Harrogate, in North Yorkshire. I've just spotted Harrogate Council on the mowers. And I ran over to one of them and said to them, "Is this the start of the season for you guys?" And he said, "Yes, it is, my friend." The other thing he informed me of actually is that this is the first week of the brown bin collection. Now, if you're not in the UK, you'll probably go, "What's the brown bin collection?" Well, this probably say it's a stealth tax by the government. But moving one step away from politics, the brown bin collection is collection of your green waste. Let's say because most urban gardens in today's land don't have compost areas, which lends itself to a question in this podcast. Have you got a compost area, and do you know how to build a compost area? Have you ever had a compost area, and how do you look after a compost area? All those questions are packed in today's thinking. I'm not going to be answering all of them, but it's today's thinking. So look, yeah, up until yesterday, there was around about 10, 15 centimeters of snow outside. But as is always the case, snow that arrives in March in the UK, it comes for 2 days, it dumps for 1 day, it disappears on the third. And then things get really wet. You know, that really wet sort of vibe that happens after snow. Well, it gets really, really wet. So here's the thing. The council are out today cutting the public spaces. And I thought maybe today is the time to start cutting the lawns. But, my friends, it's not quite. But it might be where you are in the UK. Or if you're elsewhere in the world listening to this, let's just say in celebration of the UK grass cutting season beginning, I hope you enjoy cutting your lawn today. I do, because I won't be cutting lawns yet for probably another 2 weeks. But more importantly, what signifies the start of the council cutting season, I'd say actually most significantly, it signifies the start of the real lawn feeding season. So we can now move from winter preparations and moss control into lawn fertilizers, weed management, and moss management, let's say. We can move into that phase. And if we're doing slow release feeds, that some of us are, then now is a really good time to get your first slow release feed onto the lawn. If you're wondering, is now the right time to start scarifying your lawns if they have moss in? Well, we're nearly there. And in parts of the UK, and probably in other parts of the world, we are probably almost certainly there. But the one thing that makes lawn scarification just a little bit more successful and a little bit more tidy is drier ground, firmer ground, and drier grass. We have a nice wind today. That's quite nice for drying out the grass. But let's just say there's just a little bit too much dampness in the root zone to not leave tracks from the scarifier. So we're going to leave it. It only takes a couple of days of drying out for things to firm up a bit. So we're going to leave it a little bit. But look, today it's official. It's the Let's Get Started date. And just so I remind myself of this in this podcast, that is Monday, 13th of March, 2023. It's Get Started Day. Excellent. Anyway, look, for those of you who are elsewhere in the world, you've obviously got started, and maybe you haven't yet because it's got winter. And if you're in the other parts of the UK more south, you're probably about 3 weeks ahead of us. Anyway, so dear friends, thanks for listening, and let's see how the season goes, shall we? Anyway, subscribe to the podcast, and maybe you can linger with me throughout the year as we grow all gardening. Let's see where it goes. Anyway, thanks for listening. Take care. Ta-da. Bye. See ya. Bye.